This episode of the LCTV News is brought to you by Columbia Insurance Agency, serving the Lynn community for over 60 years with home, auto, and business insurance.
Hello and welcome to the LCTV News, sponsored by Columbia Insurance. I'm Mukala Kabongo. In this edition of the LCTV News, North Shore Navigators' new general manager, new condos on the Lynnway, sit down with Afrique Education, and more. The North Shore Navigators have named their new field manager. Bob Macaluso was named manager in an announcement Thursday morning. Macaluso, a native of Reading, Massachusetts, was previously the assistant coach for the Anchorage Bucks of the Alaska Baseball League. Macaluso has over 30 years of experience, including his time in the Cape Cod League, where he was an assistant on the 2000 team that won the championship. He will be the sixth manager in Navigators history, replacing Mike Odenwalder, who led the Navigators to a 30-win season in 2019 and got them to the postseason after a 2-year absence. The Navigators kicked their season off on May 27th, where Macaluso will make his debut. New condos may be coming to the city of Lynn. This comes after Patrick J. McGrath's plans to replace the Lynnway Truck Center with a 5-story condominium complex. McGrath feels that there is a need for housing in the city, and his 5-story complex will be a benefit. Last spring, McGrath's proposal was rejected by the zoning boards of appeals. One reason for the rejection was the failure to meet the city's vision for a vibrant waterfront. The Lynn City Council believes that this project will generate more money to the city. Councilors believe that it will generate nearly $800,000 in annual property taxes. The council also approved McGrath's project at the Porthole Restaurant. McGrath is planning to replace the Porthole site with an 8-story waterfront condominium development. North Shore Medical Center has partnered with the Department of Public Health to offer enhanced care for sexual assault patients. The program is set to launch in February and will offer specialized training for nurses who work in emergency departments. The training will include secure video conferencing technology, which allows staff to work closely with sexual assault nurse examiners. These nurses will assist in providing support for victims. Under this program, North Shore Medical Center will work closely with the YMCA North Shore Rape Crisis Center, Essex County Children's Advocacy Center, Disabled Persons Protection Commission, as well as local law enforcement. Congratulations to Ishmael, Leigh, and Serena of Kipp Academy, who are winners of the Samsung Solve for Tomorrow contest. The Solve for Tomorrow contest is a contest that encourages students to use STEM to make positive changes in their community. The trio plans to use inexpensive and recyclable materials to design a practical device that students are able to use for safety during the winter months. For winning the contest, they will receive $15,000 in technology and classroom materials, as well as a Samsung video kit to produce a video on their project that will be then used to help them advance to the national finalist round. The winning video will receive $50,000 to $100,000 in technology and materials for their programs or their schools. And now time for the police update. This past Sunday, a Nahant man crashed into several cars parked on Neptune Street. The accident occurred after the driver overdosed behind the wheel. Police found him unconscious after crashing into several cars on South Elm Street. The suspect, who has yet to be identified, was extricated from his vehicle by Lynn Fire Department. Narcan had to be administered to the suspect. He was taken to Salem Hospital and is facing numerous motor vehicle charges. The accident caused 2 injuries and damaged 7 cars. Lynn Police are investigating a shooting that occurred on Howard Street Saturday morning that resulted in the death of a young man. Shortly after 5 a.m., Lynn Police responded to a call of shots fired. Upon arrival, they found 25-year-old Brian Omar Mendez suffering from a gunshot wound. Neighbors say they heard 3 gunshots and saw 2 men fleeing the scene. No arrests have yet to be made, and the incident remains under investigation. Anyone with any information on the incident should contact Lynn Police. A routine traffic stop on Sunday night resulted in Lynn Police discovering over 20 grams of heroin in a 20-year-old Jonathan Salerma's vehicle. Salerma was arrested and charged with trafficking over 200 grams of heroin, marijuana possession with intent to distribute, and motor vehicle violations. According to Lieutenant Michael Kimmick, while searching Salerma's vehicle, Lynn Police found 316 grams of heroin with a street value of $31,600, 2.5 ounces of marijuana, a scale, and other drug paraphernalia. Last Friday, the Boston Tea Party Ships and Museum held a ceremony to commemorate Francis Moore's participation in the Boston Tea Party. LCTV was on the scene for the ceremony.
Will be 400 years since we've been established in 2029, and the history of the city really sits in our cemeteries, the people that made Lynn what it is and made our country and the world what it is. So to be here to recognize someone who was willing to stand up and didn't hesitate to let people know who he was the day of the Boston Tea Party, and to be willing to stand up and say, we want something different, we want to change for the better, and to be here standing to continue to recognize his great contribution to this city and this country is something special.
Over the next 4 years, we're gearing up for the 250th anniversary, and it's our goal to place more markers at all the other known participants as far west as Chicago. It was just 2 weeks ago that we celebrated the 246th anniversary and annual reenactment of the Boston Tea Party.
While most participants in the Boston Tea Party went to great lengths to disguise themselves, of course this being a treasonous act, Francis Moore was known with having the distinction for wearing no disguise at all, bravely going on board that ship, willing to risk his own reputation and his life if necessary. As the inscription on his headstone says, he was a baker in Cambridge and generously provided bread to soldiers during the Revolution. His dedication and patriotism was noticed by Washington himself. And following the Revolution, Moore moved here to Lynn and spent the remainder of his life here.
The 13th annual Polar Plunge took place at Nahant Beach, and LCTV was on the scene.
My name is George Sonia. This is my family and the Sonia family and the Capano family. We've been doing this for 13 years. 5 years ago, we started doing it as a charity, and every year we pick a different charity. This year it's for Camp Rotary, and I want to thank everybody for coming down and in supporting Camp Rotary. I want to thank Nahant Preservation Trust for opening up the Coast Guard Station and allowing us to do this on the beach. This year, this is balmy weather for us. We've had some bad weather before that was much colder than this. In the last 5 years, I'm going to say we probably raised $70,000. We don't have this year's tally yet, but as you saw by the large crowd here, we had great support, and hopefully to add to that. And I want to thank all the Lynn newspapers and stations from coming down and supporting us again.
Happy New Year!
Family and friends gathered at Hibernian Hall to celebrate the 118th birthday of Doricil Dervis. LCTV spoke with relatives of Doricil during the celebration.
We're here at the Hibernian Hall celebrating Doricil Dervis' 118th birthday this December 2019. Each year on Christmas, we have a big celebration for her, just to celebrate her life of 118 years. She is a great grandma, a great grandma, almost 100 grandkids in total. And just the things that she have done in her life is amazing, and for her to be able to live to see today with so many grandchildren and so many loved ones around her, and we just want to continue to share the love. She currently lives in Lynn, Massachusetts. She's been residing here for the past 3 years. We, family from Florida, family from all over actually comes to see her, and we just love to love her because she demonstrated love to us all her life. She took care of us, she gave us wisdom, she showed us the rights and the wrongs in life. So we just want to say thank you, Grandma, for always being there for us and teaching us truth.
The 2020 inaugural ceremony for the Lynn School Committee members as well as members of the City Council was held Monday at the Lynn Auditorium, and LCTV was in attendance.
Public service is truly a complex and non-stop job that would be difficult to do with the unwavering love and support of our family and friends. I want to thank and recognize Senator Brendan Crichton, Representative Laurie Ehrlich, Representative Donald Long, Representative Dan Cahill, and Representative Peter Capano, as well as former Mayor Tom Costin, and municipal leaders, members of the faith community. I want to thank you all for being here tonight.
To watch the full ceremony, visit the LCTV website. Now for the sports update. The Lynn English Lady Bulldogs are inching closer to clinching their second straight state tournament appearance after their 58-21 victory over Revere Wednesday night. Kalia Reynoso led all scorers with 16 points. She also added 4 rebounds and 4 assists. Kelsey McNeil added 12 points for the Lady Bulldogs. The Lady Bulldogs, who are now 6-1 on the season, and will travel to Danvers tonight in a big NEC matchup. The Lady Bulldogs also clinched a victory over Winthrop this past week as well on Tuesday. Lynn Classical Lady Rams fell to 4-3 on the season after their 1-point loss to Malden Wednesday night. Amber Creighton led the Rams with 20 points. The Rams look to bounce back tonight as they take on Marblehead, the Marblehead Magicians in Marblehead. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. Cathedral erased a 17-point deficit to stun the Classical Rams 78-76 Wednesday night. The Rams, who had control for the majority of the game, saw their lead dwindle after Cathedral used a 28-point fourth quarter and a late three-pointer to send the game to overtime. Down 68-71, Cathedral's Dan Dorsainville hit his 7th three of the game to tie things up at 71 with 1.3 seconds remaining. Cathedral dominated the glass as they grabbed 21 offensive rebounds. Jeffrey Hill Jr. led the Rams with 31 points, and Jeff Barbosa added 16 points and 4 rebounds for the Rams. Dorsainville was the high man for Cathedral with 26 points. The Rams are back on the court tonight as they host Marblehead. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. Lynn Tech Lady Tigers are now 2-6 on the season after last night's 52-30 loss to Greater Lawrence. Alondra Sanchez led the Tigers with 24 points to go along with 10 rebounds, 2 blocks, and 4 steals. The Lady Tigers kept pace with Greater Lawrence for the majority of the game, but turnovers and missed opportunity was the story of this game. Greater Lawrence used a 16-2 run to turn what was a 6-point game to a 21-point lead. Tech is back on the court tonight as they host Chelsea. Tip-off is at 5:30 p.m. The Boston Celtics have now dropped 3 straight games after their 109-98 loss to the Philadelphia 76ers last night in Philadelphia. It was a rough shooting night for Jason Tatum, Gordon Hayward, and Jaylen Brown as the three combined to shoot 10 for 36 from the field. Josh Richardson led the way for the Sixers as he poured in 29 points and dished out 7 assists. Philadelphia was playing without all-star Joel Embiid, who was sidelined due to torn ligaments in his finger. Kemba Walker led the Celtics with 26 points, and Marcus Smart added 24 points. The Celtics look to bounce back tomorrow night as they take on the New Orleans Pelicans at the TD Garden. This will be the first of a 3-game homestand for the Green Team. The Boston College Eagles kicked off 2020 with a stunning victory, 60-53 victory over defending national champions and 18th-ranked Virginia Cavaliers Tuesday night at Conte Forum. Freshman guard Jay Heath had a game-high 17 points for the Eagles, including 3 for 5 from beyond the arc. The Eagles also got 16 points off the bench from senior Jared Hamilton. This was the Eagles' first victory over a ranked opponent since beating Florida State last season. The victory for the Eagles comes after a 39-point loss on New Year's Eve to Duke at Cameron Indoor Stadium. The Eagles, who are now 9-6 overall and 3-1 in ACC play, look to carry the momentum this weekend as they host Georgia Tech. Tip-off is at 6 p.m. It came down to the wire last night at the Matthews Arena between Northeastern University and Hofstra in a Colonial Athletic Association matchup. Down by as many as 16 points, Northeastern mounted a comeback to tie the game up at 72 on a Jordan Rowland three-pointer with 10 seconds remaining in the game. Eli Pemberton, who finished the game with 24 points, hit the go-ahead layup with half a second remaining in the game to give the Pride a 74-72 victory. LCTV spoke with Northeastern guard Jordan Rowland and head coach Bill Cohen after the game. I'm here with Jordan Rowland. Jordan, tough one right now. That was a hard-fought game. You guys battled back down 16, but second half was sort of like you guys kind of picked up the pace on the offensive end.
For sure. Yeah, and I think that was a big, the game kind of showed our character. I think a lot of teams can just fold after going down 16 in the first half. We came one stop short.
See, we didn't play our best basketball the first half. We kind of spotted them, a significant lead. And we had to play nearly perfect the second half in order to pull it out. And we almost did. We came all the way back. Jordan Rowland had a terrific second half and spearheaded our effort. I thought Bolton Grace was outstanding today from start to finish.
I think we were kind of stagnant on offense against our matchup zone. It's a tough zone to play against. And I think once we kind of saw the ball go in a little bit, we kind of started moving a little more, getting more confidence. And yeah, I think that was pretty much it. We definitely did a better job executing in the second half than we did in the first.
We just got to get better. We got to make sure we're going to stay committed to playing 40 minutes of basketball and coming out sharp, ready to compete right from the jump ball, and make sure that we stay mentally tough. You can't feel sorry for yourself. You got to get you can either do one of two things. You can either quit or try harder. And I know this group, based on their comeback in both the William & Mary and Hofstra game, will try harder.
be no Super Bowl repeat for the New England Patriots after their 20-13 loss in the wild card round to the Tennessee Titans. The Patriots struggled to stop the NFL's leading rusher, Derrick Henry, who amassed over 200 yards of total offense. Henry rushed for 182 yards on 34 carries and added a rushing touchdown. In what may perhaps be his last game at Gillette Stadium, Patriots quarterback Tom Brady threw for 209 yards and failed to throw a touchdown for the second straight postseason. Brady becomes a free agent this offseason, but has said he is not yet ready to retire from the NFL. On this week's Lynn Lowdown, we sat down with Ibrahim Diarra. Here is this week's Lowdown. Hello and welcome to the Lynn Lowdown. I'm your host, Mukala Kabongo, and today we are speaking with Afrique Education, and I have Ibrahim here representing them. He is public relations over there, yes. Public relations guy. What's going on, man? How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Yeah, rain, cold. November is here.
Well, winter is here.
Winter is definitely here. So, you were public relations for Afrique Education.
Yes.
So as I was reading up on this organization started in 2012.
Yes.
And then became a nonprofit 2016, am I correct?
Yes.
All right, so tell me a little about the organization. What do you guys do?
So in 2012, a group of students in the Massachusetts area from diverse schools decided to come together and think about some solution we can bring back on the continent. As you know, Massachusetts is one of the biggest education hubs in the United States.
Yes.
So we came together and thought about some things we can do to help the community. And one thing we all agreed on was improving the quality of education on the continent. So in 2016, we registered the organization under the 501(c) in Massachusetts. That's how Africa came together.
Okay, and with the improvements of education, I know you guys, was it basically focused on West Africa at first, or was that just those people from different regions of West Africa was the first part, and then you guys just maneuvering everywhere else?
Well, the beauty of our group is that it's a very diverse group. Our members come from diverse parts of the continent. It just happened that West Africa was the first place we started.
Well, gotcha.
But we're planning on expanding to Central Africa and wherever the needs is. Yes.
Yeah. And in doing this, what are some of the things that you guys discovered or you guys realized the children need as far as education, as far as resources? What are some of the needs that you guys wanted to address?
So it varies from countries to countries. There are some countries on the continent that already have where education is free. So all you need is an after-school program. There are some other countries where you need that mentorship, and scholarship program. So I want to talk about one of our biggest programs we have right now. So it started 3 years ago. So it's in Senegal, where we put kids through school. We provide everything that comes from tuition, school, everything school related. So we take care of all of them. So we started from primary school, and our hope is to carry them all the way through secondary school and hopefully send them to college at some point.
What exactly is the name of the program?
So the program
is it just part of that?
Yes, it is. It is part of Africa. So that's in Dakar, Senegal. So we sponsor about 30 students right now, and we're planning to expand that number to 50 students by 2021.
How is the funding for the sponsorship for the students? How do you guys do it?
So the funding is mostly personal contribution from members, and sometimes we organize some minor fundraisers event. With the way we're trying to expand, at some point we'll try to seek out help from funding agencies or anyone who's willing to help us.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Now, I know there's been some organizations that do something similar like this where they're sponsoring students back in Africa. Now, is it each person has a student that they're sponsoring, or is it just a whole thing? Like you just put in whatever you donate and it just goes to the whole?
It is a whole thing. Okay. So every month we have like a contribution you can give. Gotcha. And believe it or not, it takes about $200 to send a school to send a kid through school for the whole year. So with the little we have, we try to put it together and try to bring a positive impact.
Yeah. Now, what else have you guys done throughout the past 3 years since becoming a nonprofit? What are some other initiatives that you guys have done as far as helping them with the education?
So there's that program in Senegal. 2 years ago, we started another program in Ivory Coast. It's an after-school tutoring program. That program affects about 100 students, and we must say that the results are just incredible. We have some issues like on the continent. Sometimes you can kids go to school, but they don't have enough. They don't learn enough in school, so they need something after school to help them. So that's something we've been doing in Ivory Coast, and we're working on a few more projects. So in 2020, we want to launch a program in Mali. Okay. That will be mostly focused on education of young women, of young girls, because as I said earlier, depending on countries, each country have their realities. Yeah. And we see that the need in Mali is to focus a bit more on young women because, hey, they say educating a woman is educating a nation.
Yeah, this is true because in the continent, there's a lot of countries that don't want to educate the women. They want to keep them,
It is unfortunate.
I forget the word here, but they want to domesticate them and be keep them serve the man and all that. We still have some of that thinking going on in the country, which you think it changed, but still.
It's still, but when we really think about it, the foundation of a society lies on women. I can take as example of myself, my dad was there, but my mom is the one who actually raised me into the man I am today. So having educated women who can bring something more to the table that will help eventually countries into developing.
And when you go and being in America for so long, you just see the vast difference because here, elementary school, middle school, high school, it's free unless you go into a private school. Yes, it's free. Over there, from elementary until on, you have to pay for the education, and a lot of kids, they're not going to school. 7 years old, 8 years old, 10 years old. They're not going to school because they can't afford it. They end up working. They end up being in child labor, working in mines, and it's they should be in school learning, but we're not. The Africans aren't educating the kids because they don't have the resources and money. And then who's gonna take over the country as you get older if these kids aren't being educated?
Yes, we're setting ourselves for failure. So there's a quote that resonates really strongly for me. It's by Thomas Sankara. He said, "We must choose between champagne for some and clean water for everyone." I think that's where Africa has to come together and think about that aspect.
Yeah, definitely. We're almost out of time. So tell the people, if they want to help in any kind of way, where can they go? Website, information, if they want to find out more.
Yes, to find out more about AfriCAD, you can go on our website. It's africad.org. You can sign up for the newsletter. You can reach out to us like from the website, and everyone was willing to help. Like every help is accepted, and we will be very grateful for everything. So.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for
coming,
having us.
man.
Thank you.
All right. That's our time here. You guys been watching the. Oh, actually, he's also, me and him, we're from the same place. You got to let them know where you're from, man.
So I was born and raised in the Congo, and I saw his name. I was like, Kabongo. I was like, man, that's a name from. That's our name. So yes, and it's just pride.
Yeah, we're everywhere.
Yep.
We are everywhere.
Everywhere.
All right, guys. You guys been watching the Lynn Lowdown. Have a great day. And now for some upcoming local events. On Saturday from 8:30 until 9:30 a.m., the Lynn Classical girls basketball team will be hosting the first of 4 free basketball clinics for Lynn girls. The clinic is for Lynn girls in grades 4 through 8. Any parents interested in registering their daughters should contact Helen Ridley at ridleytopflightbasketball@gmail.com. Also this Saturday, the post-holiday purge, also known as Kavanta Day, will be happening at the Lynn DPW site on Commercial Street from 8 a.m. until noon. During this time, residents are encouraged to clean out their attics, cellars, hallways, porches, and garages. The Lynn DPW will not be taking TVs, paint, tires, hazardous materials, or building contractors' construction materials. Kavanta Day is for Lynn residents only, and a valid driver's license is required in order for your material to be taken. For more information, contact the Lynn DPW. This Tuesday, the North Shore Alliance of GLBT Youth will be having its weekly meeting on 2 East India Square in Salem from 5:30 p.m. until 8:30 p.m. The meeting is for LGBTQ youth ages 14 through 23. For more information about the weekly meetings, visit nagley.org. LCTV's next Paramount film series will take place on Monday, January 13th. The movie choice for January will be The Emperor's New Groove. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. Movie begins at 7 p.m. Free popcorn and beverages will be available. And also for the 4 consecutive weeks in January and February, the NBTA will be diverting services from the Orange Line. To find out more information, go visit the NBTA website. Thank you for watching the LCTV News. Like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and visit us at lyntv.org to watch any show anytime on your computer, tablet, or phone. I'm Mukala Kabongo. Have a great day.
This episode of the LCTV News is brought to you by Columbia Insurance Agency, serving the Lynn community for over 60 years with home, auto, and business insurance.